Evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Kalen Hastings, Chief Administrative Officer of the Town of Coaldale.
Good evening, sir. Take the Bible in your right hand. I'll ask you to repeat after me. I, Jack Van Ryan,
I, Jack Van Ryan,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of mayor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
I, Jack Van Ryan, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of the mayor of the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
So sworn. Thank you.
That's right. Yep, right there, Jack. Just a little more in. Yep. And a little closer, guys. Right. Yeah, a little. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome our new council for this upcoming term. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you and our administration team. So without further ado, I would like to call up Jason Beekman, please. If you join Staff Sergeant Newman to be sworn in as Coaldale Town Councilor.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Congratulations. Bible in your right hand. You can grab it.
Okay.
Hang on to it in your right hand. And then you can repeat after me. I, Jason Beekman,
I, Jason Beekman,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of councilor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
I, Jason Beekman, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of councilor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
So sworn. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sign.
Congratulations, Councilor Beekman.
Thank you. You bet.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, at this time, I'll call up Dale Pickering to join Staff Sergeant Newman to be sworn in as town councilor.
Congratulations. The Bible in your right hand. Arm up. And you can repeat after me. I, Dale Pickering,
I, Dale Pickering,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
I, Dale Pickering, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my way ability to execute according to the law the office counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
So sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. At this time, I will call up Mr. Jason Avery to join Staff Sergeant Newman to be sworn in as town councilor.
Good evening, sir. Congratulations. Thank you. The Bible in your right hand. And you're going to repeat after me. I, Jason Avery,
I, Jason Avery,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale, so help me God.
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute accordingly to the law of the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale, so help me God.
So sworn.
Congratulations, Mr. Avery. At this time, I will call up
Oh, just need a picture there,
Oh, sorry.
Your Worship. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'll call up Ms. Lisa Reese to join Staff Sergeant Newman to be sworn in as town councilor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take the Bible in your right hand. You can repeat after me. I, Lisa Reese, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
I, Lisa Reese, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
So sworn. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'll call up Mr. Bill Chapman to join Staff Sergeant Newman to be sworn in as town council.
Congratulations. The Bible in your right hand, please. Raise your hand. Repeat after me. I, Bill Chapman, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
I, Bill Chapman, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
So sworn. Yeah, I'll quick shoulder.
Thank you, John.
Congratulations.
At this time, I'll call up Mr. Jordan Taylor to join Staff Sergeant Newman to be sworn in as town council.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Bible in your right hand. Raise your hands. Repeat after me. I, Jordan Saylor, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
I, Jordan Saylor, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of counselor for the town of Coaldale. So help me God.
So sworn.
Thanks, Jack.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mayor and Council, on your new appointments. At this time, I will transfer my Mayor Van Ryan. Mayor Van Ryan, do you accept the role of chair for this meeting?
I do. Again, thank you to Staff Sergeant Newman for helping us with the proceedings tonight. Much appreciated. Starting off the agenda for the organizational meeting, first of all, item 1.2, conflict of interest declaration, pecuniary or non-pecuniary. Is anybody here this evening want to declare? Seeing none, move on to the acceptance of agenda. The organizational council meeting agenda for today, October 25th. The address to the chair will be Mayor Van Ryan, and for councilors, it'll be councilor with the last name, please. Is there any additions to the agenda? Seeing none, can I get someone to make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councilor Avery, thank you. Under new business, the deputy mayor appointment is going to be done under 8.1. And I'll hand this over to our CAO, Kaylin Hastings.
Thank you, Mayor Van Ryn. Our legislative coordinator has her hand up.
Point of order, there was no motion, no call of vote on the last motion for the acceptance of the agenda.
Mistake. So backing up to the acceptance of the agenda, Jason Avery made a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, back to new business item 8.1, Deputy Mayor appointment, CAO Hastings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
One just quick question. Did we want to take a recess at this time to complete the pictures with our staff sergeant in attendance while we have a photographer here and then resume, or would you like me to go over this agenda item first? What's your preference?
Staff Sergeant Nguyen, you got a few minutes? Absolutely. Okay, let's do the Deputy Mayor first.
Okay, thank you. The purpose of this report is to go over the deputy mayor appointment. Council needs to appoint a deputy mayor, but there's also a procedural question that council needs to answer in terms of how the appointment of the deputy mayor happens, not just for this evening, but for the rest of this council term. As you'll see in your report here, there's two main options for council to choose from. We've looked at both and have applied both options throughout the course of our history. The way it's currently done and the way it's currently written in the council procedural bylaw is that the deputy mayor is selected once per year at the organizational meeting by way of a nomination and secret ballot system. Prior to that, in the term before, the deputy mayor was selected by the mayor on a rotational basis where every member of council got an equal turn. Given that we now have 4-year council terms, it would be an 8-month term per councillor. So I'll open that up to discussion, Mr. Mayor, and for the rest of council on which of the two procedural options council would like to go with. And then from there, that'll decide how the appointment process of the deputy mayor will go.
So speaking in favor of option number 2, and we need to do a amendment to the bylaw for deputy mayor. So my preference is going to be that I want everybody to have an opportunity to be deputy mayor for 8 months. And we're going to start off with Councillor Avery being the deputy mayor for the next 8 months. And then we're just going to go down the line from there. So then it would be Dale Pickering, Jason Beekman, Jordan Saylor, Bill Chapman, and we'll end with Councillor Lisa Reese. Any discussion on that? For or against? Go ahead.
Thank you, Worship, and I appreciate your option for number 2. That would have been my support, received my support, and it gives everyone an opportunity over the next 4 years to take that deputy position, which I really favor.
Any other discussion? You want to make that into a motion, Councillor Chapman?
Thank you, Worship. I'll like to move for option number 2, deputy mayor selected on an 8-month rotation basis. And Your Worship, would you like me to make the appointment now for deputy mayor now for Councillor Avery?
That would be great, thank you.
And further to my motion to add Councillor Jason Avery as deputy mayor for the first 8 months rotation commencing tonight.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. So you want to, we'll do that now then? Okay.
Right hand. Same as you're reading official oath. Mayor for the town of Coaldale, so help me God.
I, Jason Avery, swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute accordingly to the law of the office of Deputy Mayor for the town of Coaldale, so help me God.
Mark.
Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Councillor Avery. I should rephrase that, Deputy Mayor. At this point, we're going to take a 20-minute recess. We're just going to do some photos while we have the photographer here, and then we'll reconvene at 10 to 6, and then we'll have the live stream up and running again. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We're just reconvening our organizational meeting for October 25th. We left off, we completed under new business 8.2. We're now going to move into 8.3, the council meeting location. Kaylin Hastings is going to present on that.
Thank you, Mayor Van Ryn. The purpose of this report is to request that council provide direction to administration on where and what time council meetings take place for the next 3 months, with a reevaluation to take place after that period. In the staff report provided, there were a few council meeting venue platform options that were provided, along with a few pros and cons of each option. Also in your report package, we included a snippet of some of the Q&A session with the province of Alberta relative to municipal council meetings. These guidelines may help to inform which of the meeting venue options you may wish to choose from. One thing I will underscore is that regardless of which meeting venue is selected, a person must wear a face mask at all times while attending an indoor public place except when separated by at least 2 meters distance from all other persons and/or separated from every other person by a physical barrier that prevents droplet transmission. Because we do have proper physical distancing in this meeting, that makes masks an option for those who are in attendance. So at this time, I'll turn the discussion back to council to discuss what meeting venue council would like to select for the next 3 months.
Thank you, CAO Hastings. So the best location other than the hub is the council chambers. Then we would need to move all this equipment back over again and have the IT department look after that. We would need to put in those clear plastic barriers between each member of council. And when you're in the council chambers and you have those barriers, it'll be hard to hear each other speak. So I think we're set up in here now. As much as I want to go back in council chambers, I think if we have this layout that we have now and do that for the next 3 months and revisit it then, correct? And see if we can hopefully go back at some point in the next 3 months. So I'll open up the floor for further discussion if anybody has any questions or comments. Councillor Chapman.
Thank you, Mayor Van Ryn. I support meeting here as well, and if CAO Hastings has any other thoughts about even a hybrid version, if we need to do something within that 3-month period, that we might have to use a Zoom portion of it, but I would prefer that we have this environment here for the time being rather than flip-flopping between here and town and council chambers.
Councilor Avery? Thank you, Mayor Van Ryan. I agree with what Councilor Chapman is saying. It's nice to be meeting face-to-face rather than Zoom. And now that we're all back in town, it's good to be back meeting face-to-face. So I like this venue. This separation is good enough for not wearing masks, and I would support that we continue having our meetings here. Okay, would you like to make that into a motion? Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we continue having the meetings at the hub for the next 3 months, and then reevaluate it at that time, and hopefully we can get back into council chambers then. Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 8.4, council calendar and meeting dates for 2021 and 2022. And Lana Anthony is going to present on that.
Thank you, Mayor Van Ryn. The purpose of the following report is to provide council with a calendar of proposed council meeting dates, and I note that there was 5-year calendars presented. However, we're just looking to suggest a motion for the first year, whereas the superseding 4 years will be reviewed at each organizational council meeting at that time. The purpose of such advanced planning is to allow council opportunity to pre-plan and set aside dates for council meetings, council orientation, strategic planning, departmental business plan presentations, and budget planning, as well as various holidays and community events. Again, the calendar is reviewed, amended, and/or approved at the yearly council organizational meeting of council, which takes place in October of every year. And some key considerations: as the attached draft calendar for the remainder of 2021 shows, there is a number of departmental orientation and site tours planned. While the information is vital to a proper onboarding process, which in turn will help position council to effectively participate in future budgetary and strategic planning processes, administration is also mindful of council's time and other commitments in addition to their duties as elected officials. In order to finalize planning, it'd be helpful to have feedback from council on the following. Would it help to create fewer but longer sessions? Example, 2 different sessions over a 3+ hour period instead of individual evening sessions that are 1.5 hours in length. We still have an opportunity to participate in outdoor facility site tours before it gets too frosty. Would the odd daytime Saturday session work to ensure there is proper lighting? And as you'll see, the late afternoon of November 5th and daytime session on November 6th has been penciled in. Are there any concerns with any of the dates and sequence of proposed orientation sessions? In each of the past 3 years, the town's operating and capital budget has been approved in December of each year. And given that all the departmental meetings and onboarding sessions, this will add approximately 4 sessions to council's respective calendars, as shown in the proposed 21 calendar. And although this is workable for staff, it is realistically achieved by council. Is it realistically achieved for council? Alternatively, if council wanted to space out meetings a bit further, we could spill into January and complete budget discussions then. As a general rule, are weekday evening meetings the preference for council? How many members of council are interested in attending the 2021 AUMA conference, November 16 to 19 in Edmonton? We have made reservations with the assumption that all members of council plus the CAO would be attending. However, we can cancel hotels without penalty within 48 hours of the conference. We can also cancel the conference registration for those who do not wish to attend by November 2nd. And then the 7th point of council strategic planning, it's recommended that council discuss with the facilitator on October 30th which best to schedule a multi-day strategic planning session to create the blueprint for this council term, as there are different ways of going about this. The only financial impact associated with the report is tied to the number of councilors attending the AUMA conference in November. Please note that these costs have already been budgeted for. So I'll just turn that back to council if there's any questions or inquiries on, there's quite a bit of ask, I guess, in here.
So thank you, Lana. So can we break that down into smaller snippets to discuss? So the first one then, the council dates, regular council meetings, the second and fourth Monday, starting at 5 p.m. Everybody's okay with that? Is there any discussion on that? Okay. And then we'll just talk about the whole package and vote on that at the end. And then if you can break it out for us, Lana, the next component.
On the outdoor facility site tours?
Right, so we can either do it over several days, and we can do it in the evenings, but then on some of these site tours, we're going to have problem with daylight. And I think it's important for us to be more hands-on to go see these different facilities so that we can go through and see what actually goes on there versus just hearing a paper with a spokesperson speaking about it. So the opportunities for that, and I can maybe pass that on to CAO Hastings, is how he foresees that happening on a Saturday or something.
Thought process is daytime is our friend, and with daylight savings coming, that's where the Saturday came from, is that a lot of the projects that are going, a lot of the facilities that are happening, they're better to see in the daytime than in an evening when it's dark. A couple of the potential options would be looking at the wastewater treatment upgrades out at the lagoons. Also the recently completed sewer lift station. A look at some of the new fleet that was purchased and how that ties into service levels. We also have other projects, including the Civic Square project in downtown. We've got the Joint High School Rec Center and the site there. Those would be the type of projects I think would be most ideal to walking the site. Having the project manager or the lead designer there, along with the key personnel from administration, to guide council through and to give you a bit of an orientation, not just on the project, but it's like, here's what it cost, here's the timeline, here's why it happened, here's, for example, for the sewer lift station, what it does to our future growth horizon, and kind of deal with some of that paper exercise, and then do a follow-up on site. So that would be the vision for the outdoor site visits alluded to in the staff report.
So if we were to do that on a Saturday, what kind of a time commitment would that be?
I think we could probably comfortably hit at least 3 or 4 facilities in 3 hours.
So if we were to do it on a Saturday afternoon, starting at 1 o'clock and go till 4 or something then?
I think that would be a comfortable time to do that. We also do have some fairly dense planning documents. We have our infrastructure master plan, our transportation master plan, and at some point we would like to have a seminar with council along with the engineers that produce those documents to go through those. So I don't know if it makes more sense to go through the paper orientation with council and then do a bit of a field trip,
Okay.
or just save that for a completely different date.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to you. We are flexible, but there are some important documents that I feel a more robust orientation would be good for this.
Okay, so for the evening meetings then, to go through the documentation, the dates, Lana, can you just say those dates again, please?
Late November 5th, a daytime session, or November 6th has been penciled in. I'm sorry, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, so November 5th, that would be an evening one then?
It's suggested in the staff report that that's a daytime. I'm just going to look and see what day that.
4 p.m.?
November 5th is a Friday. November 6th is the Saturday. So if the Saturday is the preference, we could pencil in for that.
Okay. So what's the appetite of council, more so with their availability? Speaking with a few of you, there was some issues maybe doing it on the weekend. Is there anybody that has a problem doing it on the weekend? Councillor Chapman.
Thank you, Mayor. I, personally for myself, I'm available and open. I would just obviously depend on the rest of council, what their availability is for times and dates, and whether it's evening or afternoons or weekdays, you know, that sort of a thing is one thing. And of course, just maybe be cognizant for members of council that there already there will be other external committee meetings that will be starting to take place, and so don't want to have too much conflict, but I certainly would expect that council would give top priority to our efforts first over external boards or committees at this point in time, so that we get a unified vision of what we're doing rather than a split. So I'm open to that. I would just simply like to ask through the chair to Lana, if I may, that any of the meetings or invitations to meetings, if I would certainly like to have it as an invite, an electronic invite, so it goes right into my calendar. Otherwise, I occasionally will miss a meeting, mainly because I forgot to put it in myself.
Okay, thank you. So then, the calendar is part of the agenda package this evening, so other than everybody knows, coming up on October 30th, we're going to have that full-day event at the Hub with a facilitator. And then I'm just going to read off these other dates, and then if there's going to be any conflict, then I would like to know that now with any members of council. So our next one that's going to be coming up then is Wednesday, November the 3rd at 5:30 p.m. That's going to be legislative services. So is there anybody that won't be able to make that one? Councillor Avery can't make that one? Okay, and then the other one will be on Wednesday, November the 10th. That's the Emergency Services Orientation, 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Fire Hall. Is there anyone that can't make that one? Thank you. And then moving on to November the 16th, it's a Tuesday from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Recreation and Community Services will present. Is there anyone that can't make that one? Pardon me? 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Just a quick point, Mr. Mayor. That was originally penciled in, but looking at the schedule of AUMA, which is in Edmonton this year from November 17th to the 19th, 16 is likely the day before travel day. So just a
Okay.
friendly amendment to perhaps move that to Monday the 15th, just to ensure that those who may be attending have that ability to travel up the day before.
Thank you, good catch. So then, Recreation and Community Services from 5:30 to 7 p.m. on Monday, November 15th. Is there anybody that won't be able to make that one? Councillor Avery? And again, once we move into committee appointments, there might be some conflict there as well, but we'll just get through this calendar as it is, and then we'll see what hiccups we come across. And then the next one is the Capital Projects Engineering Services Orientation. That's going to be on November the 24th, a Wednesday from 5:30 to 7 p.m. So is anybody not able to make that one? Okay, and then the last one for November is Tuesday for Planning and Development Orientation from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Tuesday, November the 30th. Is there anybody not going to be able to make that one? Okay, perfect. And then December, we have one scheduled for Operational Services Orientation, 5:30 to 7 p.m. on December the 8th. And then the following Wednesday will be budget deliberations. There's no timeline on that one yet. And then we have our another budget deliberation on December the 20th. So we're going to get through the paper portion of it first, and then we're going to talk about doing the site tours then?
That's correct. The intent is for the site tours to take place on November 5th and 6th, while hopefully it's not too cold and snowy.
Okay.
And then the capital projects one on November 24th, that's where I envisioned having personnel from our engineering department go through some of these key master plans, which will be a good primer before council starts their budget deliberations.
Okay, so then if you can send out a confirmation once you talk to staff, what day we want to do those then, like the November, whether it be November 6th or whatever, that we can let members of council know that then.
Absolutely.
Okay? So then, as part of this staff report then, Lana, what else do we need to talk about? I think we got to talk about the AUMA yet, but we can finish this stuff off first, so. Is there anything else then?
That's enough.
Okay. Any questions on any of those dates? Okay, moving on to AUMA. For new members of council, for myself personally, for new members of council, with it being within a month of being elected, I want to open up to discussion on if that'll be worthwhile for brand-new members of council to go to something like that, or if you want to get your feet wet and wait until the following year, because it's an expensive 3-day conference. And I want to make sure that if we're going to go up there, that everybody's going to be able to go, and if we're going to be able to participate in all the breakout meetings and such. So I just want to open it up to the floor to see what everybody's feelings are on that. And I'd like to start with Councillor Avery, please.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. So this being my third term, I've had the opportunity to go up there only one time, and I didn't find any dollar for value in going up there. Yes, there's some networking that can be done, but I feel that if we need to lobby government, we're better off and probably more successful if we do it individual as a community, because when you go up there and meet with the Minister of Health, you get 20 minutes of time, and their bureaucrats will take their minutes, and then you probably don't hear from them again for 4 years. So I believe that we're better off to take that money that we spend on AUMA and use it for lobbying for different purposes in our community, rather than us going up and spending 3 days up there. And for us to get to know each other as a new council, I think what you've organized for the 30th is wonderful, and maybe set another one of those up in the next 3 months. So we're getting the plan for Coaldale, and then we know what type of lobbying we're going to need to do.
Thank you. And for AUMA, I plan on going up myself, and the CAO is going to be going up as well. I think it's important for administration's lead, as in the CAO and myself, to be up there. And I just want to open it up to the floor for any other member of council that wants to have their opinion heard. Councillor Chapman?
Thank you, Mayor Van Ryan. As far as AUMA is concerned, I'll be going up myself. And as far as the networking opportunities with other like-minded municipalities, it is a great opportunity to network. Experience from the past has always proven that especially for new time counselors, this is really a great time to understand and learn more about what the mother association covers. We also learn all about how governance works, and especially there will be breakout sessions for learning about how municipal affairs works and about how municipalities work together. So this is also an opportunity where we can actually also meet with the police commission, particularly the RCMP, if we set those appointments up. 20 minutes, oftentimes it's the optics of being there with them that really is a payoff, because from those breakout sessions, those meetings, oftentimes there's follow-up that really takes place on a more focused level. Ensure the 20 minutes is, sometimes it's just sort of first time in connections, but other than that, I think it really gives us a great move forward when we're trying to connect with transportation or with municipal affairs on various matters, with environment and some of the other departments that will be there.
Thank you. So, again, for the new members of council, and I'm only speaking for myself, and I agree with Deputy Mayor Avery, I got to remember to start calling you that now, that for when I went up the first time, it's a large venue. There's tons of meetings that you can go to, breakout rooms, and for me, the very first time I went when I was brand new on council last term, that you're overwhelmed. With Councillor Chapman, that's been on town council for several terms now. He knows how that all works down there. So for me, it's a case of we're going to send all of council, or we're not going to send any of council. So again, I'm going to go myself, and I want the CAO to attend as well. So I need to get the feel from the other members of council that haven't spoken yet what their feelings are on that. So I'm just going to go around the table, and I'll start with Councillor Beekman.
Thanks, Mayor Van Ryn. My personal feeling on that would be, we've as a new council, we have a lot to go through over the next little bit here, and I think our efforts would be better focused in the town of Coaldale than it would be throwing the AUMA in there. Having said that, I do see value in the AUMA, and it is something I'd like to attend in the future. I just don't feel at this time it would be as beneficial to the town of Coaldale as it would be if we focused our attentions here.
Thank you. Councillor Pickering.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Van Ryn. I kind of agree with Jason on that. It would be good for us to focus more on what's happening in Coaldale right now for us new councillors than attend that, because like you say, it probably would be overwhelming. So,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
And Councillor Saylor.
I think it'd be pretty interesting to go and to see, but at the same time, like you were saying, it'd be kind of nice to get our feet wet first, so I kind of understand the meetings and things that I'm going to. See, being so new, jumping into something like that, it might be, like you said, overwhelming, and I wouldn't really understand everything. So I feel like it'd be a little bit more beneficial to kind of get our feet wet, stay with what's going on here, and then as we learn more next year, then we'll be able to appreciate it more and actually use the information a little bit better. So I'd be fine with waiting.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor Reese.
I agree with Councillor Beekman and Pickering and Saylor that I think that we should wait till we have a little bit more experience under our belt to dabble in that. But I do want to do it next year once we're a little bit more acquainted with the council meetings.
Thank you. Okay, everybody's had a chance to speak, so I would like someone to make a motion whether or not we are going to be going as a full council, or we're going to be going with just the mayor and CAO attending. Councillor Pickering.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Van Ryn, that I would suggest that you and CEO go together and the rest don't.
Okay. Any further discussion on that motion?
I'll be voting against the motion, mainly because the first AUMA for the first term, the first AUMA in the term is usually the biggest one, And of course, Mayor, it was an overwhelming experience the first time you went. Generally, the AUMAs following that are lesser attended for various reasons, and the opportunities are still there, whether you do it in year 2 or 3 or 4. But
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? A vote on the motion, please. All those in favor? Opposed? Councillor Chapman opposed. Thank you. And further to that, part of the AUMA, there was going to be one day for like a team building exercise. And as Deputy Mayor Avery alluded to, we can do that here locally, so we can do something here in Coaldale and get together and get to know one another better. Okay, moving on. Information items, there's approved council organizational meeting minutes from October 26, 2020. Hopefully everybody had a chance to read through that, and we're going to be tapping into that again here shortly. And then we're going to be moving now into our closed meeting, and that's going to be, that council moves to go into closed session at...
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
sorry.
I think we need a resolution for the rest of the calendar for item
yes.
8.4.
My apologies.
I should
My
have
apologies.
turned my light on sooner.
Okay. So back to the calendar then, we're going to, like CAO Hastings said, we're going to try and work out some Saturdays once we get the paper portion of it done before winter arrives. So we'll just make a motion on it as presented, and then we can amend it if needed be. So looking for someone to make a motion to adopt the calendar as presented. Councillor Beekman, any discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
We just have item 8.5.
Item 8.5, council committee appointments. Lan is going to present on that.
Thank you, Mayor Van Ryn. The following report is submitted for council to review and consider committees and board appointments for council members. For the most part, most of the committees are one-year appointments. There was a various list. If we could maybe just go through it one by one and review accordingly that way? Would that work
Yes.
the best? Okay. Okay, starting on the list, on the Alberta Birds of Prey Foundation, we seek one council member and one alternate council member for one-year term.
For the Alberta Birds of Prey for council, Councillor Reese has volunteered to be the council rep on that committee.
Okay. Would you like to name an alternate for attendance to that, or just leave it as one council member?
So historically, with these committees, if the sitting member of council on that committee is not able to make it, then we have an alternate. So is there anybody that's willing to be the alternate on the Alberta Birds of Prey Committee? Councillor or Deputy Mayor Avery, thank you. Okay, moving on to Barons Eureka Warner, FCSS. Councillor Chapman has agreed to let his name stand on that. Is that correct, Chap? Okay, thank you. The Bylaw Appeal Committee, all of council will be sitting on that one. The CAO Personnel Committee, all of council will be sitting on that committee. The Chinook Arch Library Board, we need one member of council, and Councillor Saylor has agreed to do the Chinook Arch Library Board, and I'm going to have Councillor Beekman as the alternate. The Coaldale and District Chamber of Commerce, Councillor Saylor has agreed to put his name down for that. And as being part of the Chamber of Commerce, unless Councillor Chapman wants to be the alternate. Okay, so Councillor Chapman will be the alternate. The Coaldale and District Handy Bus Association, Councillor Chapman has agreed to let his name stand for that committee. The Coaldale Library Board, Councillor Beekman has agreed to put his name down for that committee. And then there'll also be 9 citizen members. Community Futures, Lethbridge Region, Councillor Saylor has agreed to put his name down for that one. County of Lethbridge Community Learning Council, Councillor Saylor has agreed to put his name down for that committee. The Emergency Advisory Committee, Councillor Reese has agreed to let her name stand. The Highway 3 Twinning Development Association, Councillor Chapman has agreed to remain on that committee. Gem of the West Museum Board, Councillor Pickering has agreed to let his name stand for that committee. The Green Acres Foundation Board, it calls for a member of council to be on that committee or that board, but if you go through the terms of reference, it says it can be a citizen member as well. And Roger Holm, that was a member of council last term, has agreed to let his name stand for that board. Is there anybody that is not in agreement with that wants to let their name stand for Green Acres? Okay. Go ahead, Deputy.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. So with doing this appointment, can we kind of change our terms where Roger Holm would come in every quarter and report to us what's happening, just so we, as council, know what's happening with Green Acres Foundation?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up, because as part of the agenda, we always call under 10.0 council and committee reports, and I want to make sure that that is utilized, that we're going to do on a rotational basis, that every council meeting we're going to get an update, and we'll just go around the table, and when that time comes for Roger, we can invite him to a council meeting then to report on that. The Joint Emergency Service Committee, we need 3 members of council on that one. So far I have Jason Beekman has his name standing on that one, and maybe CEO Hastings, if you can just maybe give us a quick outline of what that committee is about.
Sure, thank you. Historically, that's been a committee where there's 3 elected officials from the town of Coaldale, 3 elected officials from Lethbridge County. It's used as a forum to discuss budgetary, long-range budgetary items, the fire services agreement between the municipalities, capital purchases, service level modifications or enhancements, and above all else, it's also a good opportunity for networking, to have 3 elected officials from the urban interface on a regular basis with 3 elected officials from a rural. The nature of the conversations in the past tend to center on those areas specifically, and I see some opportunities already just in past conversations with them where there will be some meetings in the future, just keep that dialogue going at especially the elected level. Was that a good enough commercial?
That's very well done, thank you. So I have my name down for that one along with Jason Beekman, so we need 1 more member of council to let their name stand for the Joint Emergency Services Committee. Is there any interest? Okay, Councillor Chapman, anybody else? Okay, thank you. So then, Lana, that'll be myself, Jason Beekman, and Councillor Bill Chapman. The Joint Inter-Municipal Development Planning Committee, we need 3 members of council for that and 1 alternate council member. Councillor Jason Beekman has agreed to let his name stand. I've let my name stand on that committee as well. We're looking for 1 more person. Councillor or Deputy Mayor Jason Avery, thank you. So again, for the Joint Inter-Municipal Development Planning Committee, we have myself, Councillor Beekman, and Deputy Mayor Avery. The Lethbridge Regional Water Services Commission, I'm sorry, I got to back up. We need 1 alternate for that Joint Intermunicipal, correct? Okay, Councillor Chapman will be the alternate. Thank you. And then back to Lethbridge Regional Water Services Commission. We need 2 members of council and along with 2 county council members. And I have Councillor Chapman has agreed to sit on that committee and Councillor Pickering. The Link Regional Pathway Committee, Councillor Saylor has agreed to let his name stand for that. The Malloy Drain Steering Committee, we need myself, the mayor, 1 member of council, and 1 council alternate, and the CAO and the operations director and 2 county council members sit on that committee. So I have myself on there for a member of council. Councillor Pickering has agreed to let his name stand. Is there someone that would let their name stand for the alternate? Councillor Beekman, thank you. The Mayors and Reeves Southwest Alberta Association, so myself and Deputy Mayor Avery will be on that committee. The Municipal Planning Commission, MPC, we need 3 members of council. We have Councillor Pickering, we have Deputy Mayor Avery, and myself on the MPC board. The Old Man River Regional Services Commission. Councillor Saylor, did you say you wanted to be on that one, or Chapman?
May I speak to that one, Mayor Van Ryan? Currently, and maybe CAO Hastings can help me with this, we're not a member of the Old Man Regional Services Commission anymore. So that ended in December of 2020. So we don't have an official representative anymore for this coming year. Am I correct on that?
Through the chair, excellent catch. We're no longer general members, although we still utilize the GIS service, but I don't believe that entitles us to a seat on their board. So actually, very good. No, it does not.
Okay,
so I'm just reaffirming your catch. That's a good catch.
Okay, so we'll have Lana strike that one off the list then. The Old Man Watershed Council, there's no representation required. We have a membership only. The Operations Committee, all of council sits on that one, along with the Deputy Fire Chief and RCMP Staff Sergeant Newman and the CPO Manager. Moving on to the Subdivision Development Appeal Board, there's 2 non-municipal planning commission council members required for that. And I have Councillor Chapman and Councillor Beekman letting their names stand for that committee. The Southern Alberta Energy from Waste Alliance, we're going to leave that one open, and we're just going to reach out to a citizen member to see if there's any interest there for that one. South Grow, Councillor Pickering has agreed to let his name stand for that committee.
Just to sort of interrupt there, Mayor Van Ryan, on the SEWA appointment, I'd be happy to sit on as an alternate if we find a citizen appointment.
Thank you. And then South Grove, we mentioned Councillor Pickering, and then the Southern Regional Stormwater Management Committee, Councillor Pickering has agreed to let his name stand for that committee as well. So I'm looking for a motion that council approve the allocation of committees and boards of the fellow council members for the period terms outlined. Councillor Beekman, any discussion? Lana, we're good? Okay, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. And then I got ahead of myself on the information items 12.1. So the approved council organizational meetings from was October 26th was last year, was in your agenda package. And then I believe we're ready to move into the closed portion of the meeting. And that, motion that council moved to go into closed session at 6:35 p.m. in accordance with Section 197-2 of the Municipal Government Act to discuss matters exempt from disclosure for agenda items 13.1, subjects to FOIP Section 17, third-party personal privacy. Can I get someone to make that motion, please? Councillor Chapman? Yes?
I'll make a motion to approve 12.1 for the organizational meeting
Oh,
minutes
yes.
of October 26,
Okay,
2020.
good catch. Any discussion on that operational minutes? All those in favor? Carried. Then I'm looking for a motion to go into closed session as I just okay, Deputy Mayor Avery. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. We're at the organizational meeting for Monday, October 25th. We need a resolution to come out of the closed meeting portion. If I could get someone to do that for me, please. Councillor Beacon. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, so coming out of the closed meeting, dealing with 13.1 Citizen Committee and Board appointments for 2021-2022. Lana, if you want to speak to that, please.
Mayor Van Ryn. The recommendation is that council appoint the various citizens to the committees, starting with Emergency Advisory Committee, appointing Lindsay Fraser and Joe Mickelson. For the Library Board, for 3-year terms for Tamara Waits, Erna Dick, and Megan Brooks. And for the Municipal Planning Commission, Roger Holm and Renee Vandevindel. For Subdivision and Development Appeal Board, James Beaton and Dexter Bezoyan.
Could I get someone to sponsor that motion, please? Deputy Mayor Avery. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Excuse.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just wanted to reference back for the appointments on the library board for Tamara Waits and Erna Dick. There is one exception for them. Tamara Waits no longer lives in the town of Coaldale and requires an exception motion to appoint her to the library board. It is not a requirement for her to be a citizen of Coaldale. As well, Erna Dick, both Tamara and Erna have both completed 3 terms on the library board, and so a separate motion from council would be required to extend them on that board.
Okay. Can I get someone to sponsor the motion that Lana just alluded to? Councillor Saylor, any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. And then continue, Lana, please.
The next motion would be for the Municipal Planning Commission?
Yes?
Or I'm sorry, let's go back to the, a motion to extend the advertisements for Emergency Advisory Committee, Library Board, and South Grow until suitable applicants are found.
Works for me. If someone to sponsor that one? Counselor Pickering, any discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
And then our final motion for Municipal Planning Commission.
Yes?
Could I consult with our CAO to please recite?
Through the mayor here, that council direct administration to conduct a comparative analysis of municipal planning commission compositions and terms of references in municipalities in southern Alberta.
Any discussion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. That was the last one, Lana?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. Deputy Mayor Avery, thank you.